Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, Donald Trump's approval rating is dropping already. And more importantly, his disapproval rate has increased by even more. So, I guess people forgot what it was like to have Captain Chaos in charge, and now they're starting to realize it again. They're going to learn today, in the words of Kevin Hart. So, according to a new 3-day Reuters Ipsos poll, 45% of respondents approve of Trump and what he's doing. That's down only 2% compared to 1 week earlier. However, as I mentioned, his disapproval rating shot up over 7% or 7%, I should say, over that same period of time. So it was 39% a week ago. It is now 46% disapproval. So yeah, and he is officially underwater. So, 46% disapprove, 45% approve. And then other people, unbelievably, are like, oh, I don't know. I'm not paying attention. I got my head up my ass. Anyway, so this is less than 2 weeks in office, and he's already moving in the wrong direction. And people are starting to realize that, yeah, I actually hate this guy. And there are a couple things that are dragging him down specifically based on the poll responses. So 59% of the people they polled said that they oppose Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. That is, of course, still weaving its way through the courts. It's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. So we'll see. And that figure, that 59%, that even includes 36% of Republicans. Surprisingly, this is very different from other polls and from what we've seen in focus groups, but surprisingly, 70% of respondents said that they dislike the idea of renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Don't know why that's such a big deal, but anyway. And then 59% disagree with Trump's executive orders to end the federal push to hire more women and minorities. Now, this is interesting because when they ask them, do you want to stop that? Are you happy with Trump's executive order saying, we don't want more women, we don't want more minorities in the federal government? People say, oh no, I like that. I think that should remain, right? 59% said no, he's making a mistake there. Then when the respondents were asked specifically about Trump's dismantling of DEI offices and programs, meaning diversity, equity, inclusion, the laws, the programs that specifically encourage the hiring of women and minorities, 51% of them opposed the idea, but 44% are in agreement. So it's almost evenly split. It's like, the numbers went down. So from 59% saying, no, we think that women and minorities should be given a seat at the table, then it drops down to 51%. I mean, so the fact that the numbers shifted when they ask about DEI tells you Trump's MAGA base has no clue what DEI is. They have no idea how they personally have benefited from it. And that's what the right is really good at, I hate to say. They repeatedly harp on certain phrases and programs, different themes, they've these catch-all terms. They frame them in a way that, oh, this is the new boogeyman, right? DEI, you got to hate DEI, even though if you don't know what it is. You got to hate woke, even though you can't even give an explanation or description, and, you can't even tell anyone what woke means. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the MAGA right just, they repeat these things ad nauseum. And then, of course, the base, like the good trained parrots that they are, they go out, they repeat it all without having a clue of what they're talking about. Anyway, in regard to climate change policies, 59% of the respondents are against Trump's decision to pull out of the Paris Climate Accord. And I have to mention this because it just has stuck with me for so long. I remember, I think it was a couple years back, maybe at this point, they asked this Trump supporter, what do you think about the Paris Climate Accord? And they're like, oh, we got to take care of America first. And why are we worried about Paris? And why are we taking care of Paris? Like they just most brain dead. Oh my God. So ignorant. Anyway, and then when these respondents in this poll were asked about the cost of living, approximately 50% of them said the country is on the wrong track. Only 25% said, yes, it's moving in the right direction. And then the other 25%, again, head up their asses, said, I'm not sure, or they just didn't bother to answer the question. The poll did return a couple of positive bits of news, bits of legislation for Donald Trump. So 48% approve of how he's handling immigration right now, which is just mind-blowing and very contrary to other polls that I've seen and the focus groups that I've listened to. Only 41% said they disapprove. So, in other words, 41% are paying attention. They have a soul. And again, the other 48% are heartless, selfish bigots, likely with their heads up their asses. Anyway, there was also a plurality of 49% who agree with Trump's federal hiring freeze, including 43% of Democrats. I mean, even I approve of freezing federal spending if it means that the Trump administration is understaffed and that they might not be able to do as much damage. So in that respect, I agree. I'm on board with that one. In any case, I will keep an eye out for more polls and more focus groups, as you guys know, and I will definitely bring you the information. But yeah, he's already making quite an impression, and it's not a good one. As we could have guessed, as we could have predicted. All right. Thank you all so much. Love you all. Please like, please share, please subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you can donate, really, really appreciate it. It helps to keep the show going. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.